Hi guys, Ron Wolf here, and A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms Season 1 sadly finished. And although it's a short season, it has won the minds and heart of the public and brought back Game of Thrones' reputation of Hot D Season 2. But, well, what do I think of it? Before we begin, please like, share, and subscribe, and let's begin my review of A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. I think the opening to the show was perfect, with Dunk burying Sir Arlan of Pettytree, and it was sad, tragic, yet hopeful all at the same time, which I haven't seen that before. Egg's introduction at the inn was great, and Daron passing out drunk was so funny. I love the introduction, but Dunk comes off as kind of an asshole for rejecting Egg like that, and I think Dunk having to spend the whole tourney sleeping under a tree was great, and it just shows the life of a hedge knight. I forget the word. Yeah, it just shows also how poor he is compared to everyone else. He has no backing, and he can't do anything. But yeah, the reveal of Egg squiring for Dunk, or should I say Sir Duncan the Tall, was great, and it shows his devotion. The introduction to all the Targaryens was gold, as we get to see the good in Baelor and Valar, the bad in Daron and Maekar, and the mad in Aerion. Aerion is a effing mess, and so hateable. And he got what he deserved at the end of the season. That was great. 10 out of 10 seeing Aerion get justice. I wish Egg had murdered him. Aerion shows a side to the Targaryens not seen since Viserys in the Game of Thrones Season 1, moving away from the more perfect Targaryens and even the okay ones, and now towards the mad ones in Daron and Aerion, or more so Aerion. But moving to Baelor, I love how he's always the good guy, and he looks like he'd be a very good king, and I also like how Maekar starts as an asshole, no different from his sons. Raymond Fossoway is also a nice character, although not that bright at all. And Lionel Baratheon, well, he deserves a video all to himself. The next sequence of events is in episodes 3 through 4 was further build up, and it was great. Seeing Sir Duncan the Tall getting acknowledged by Fossoway and Baratheon gave huge hope, which I love. All that build up was shattered when Dunk strikes Aerion, who was in defense of Tanzal. These two episodes really build up Aerion as the villain of the season, which is great, and I love a villain that can be dissected, and we know it makes them tick, and I prefer him rather to a villain who is just an empty character, kind of like Otto Hightower, if I were to give an example of anyone, or the Night King, since we don't know anything about him. Yeah, unlike most of the bad villains, Aerion has a lot going for him. And yeah, moving to Dunk and Egg now, Dunk and Egg get great character development in these two episodes, as it becomes even more obvious that Sir Duncan the Tall is more than just your average knight. He truly lives by his oaths, and he's kind of the opposite of Jaime Lannister in the earlier seasons, and he does defend the innocent at every chance. He's the greatest knight we've ever seen so far in all the shows. Through these two episodes, we have seen how far House Targaryen has become detached from reality with Aerion's actions, attacking a puppeteer and demanding a trial by 7, even a trial for something as a simple slap. That would get you killed by demanding a trial in most regions of Westeros. And Baelor truly comes off as Targaryen's last hope in episode 4 in particular. I also love how Egg's reveal as a Targaryen is handled, and Baelor and Dunk were right for basically blaming Egg partially for Sir Duncan the Tall getting involved with Aerion, and I agree. I was watching this with friends who had never read the Dunk and Egg books, and they were so shocked when Egg was a Targaryen. That was so funny. The trial by 7 is also huge, and I love how Maekar scolds Aerion when demanding a trial by 7. But I also love how Aerion wasn't doing that as he was afraid of Dunk. He was doing that just to get the easy way out, and that just shows that Aerion.
What the fuck is it?
About Aerion, that just shows that he is mad, but he just wants to get the easy way out instead of doing justice. Although the ending of episode 4 with Baelor appearing into the trial by 7 declared for Sir Duncan was hands down top 5 ending to any episode of Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon or The Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. Absolute cinema. Now on to the final 2 episodes of season 1. I actually loved the trial by seven and the fighting chaos. I love the fight between Arion and Duncan in the mud, brutal, and I love how Sir Duncan the Tall starts off losing big time, but he claws his way back and wins. But moving on to the flashbacks, I love how it implies that Sir Arlen never actually knighted Dunk, and I love how Sir Arlen simply says, "Get up." And I will say that the flashbacks, although I enjoyed the stuff where with Sir Arlen, I think it went on way too long. They could have shown what else is happening in the tourney, make it like a battle, but instead we got a long and drawn out flashback. That's not really the show's fault. I mean, I think that was that was also in George R. R. Martin's book, but yeah, I think the flashback went on for too long. I will say it was so satisfying seeing Arion getting beat by Dunk and withdrawing his accusations. However, the ending of episode 5 was one of the best endings to a Game of Thrones related show. And next, it arguably, I think it was my favorite. It was my favorite ending besides Jon being king in the North and Ned Stark's execution. That's how highly I love that ending. And yeah, it was definitely the most shocking of the whole show. I'm referring to Baelor Targaryen's death. That was really unexpected. I did not expect that. Neither did anyone else I was watching the show with. I also love the ending just because of how tragic it was. Baelor clearly planned to make Sir Duncan the Tall a part of House Targaryen's service and be his man. But yeah, Baelor was also gonna be the perfect king, but he died. And yeah, Baelor Targaryen to me is the king who never was. And I can tell you now, when I get some more projects out, he will be getting a life of video eventually. Moving on to the final episode, I love the character arc of Prince Maekar Targaryen. He starts as an asshole, kills his brother, and he seems kind of depressed and really upset over his brother's death. He's a kingslayer and he wants to take it all back. And this experience has really made him a better prince, and now he seems to care more about his children now. And also Dunk's conversation with Prince Valar, and you can further see how the guilt. Everyone feels guilty for Baelor's death, and they all blame themselves as Baelor was wearing Valar's armor. In fact, I love how Sir Duncan loses himself and he wants to leave House Targaryen alone until Daeron, a character who I hated at first, but I grew to appreciate over the whole season. He reminded Dunk of his oath to protect the innocent, being Egg. Daeron may be drunk a lot, but he has a good heart. I do question the showrunner's decision to change Egg squiring for Sir Duncan being agreed to Egg running away to squire for Sir Duncan. It's probably a plot point in season 2, although it's confirmed that the actor from Maekar Targaryen will not be returning in season 2, so I question that. But yeah, I love how we get to find out where everyone is going next for season 2. If I were to summarize A Night of the Seven Kingdoms in one word, it would be legendary. Every episode was a banger, and it displays legendary tournament with disastrous consequences, and it has done absolutely well. I haven't seen a show get off to this hot of a start in a long time. I cannot wait for season 2, and the return to yearly seasons reminds me of Game of Thrones. Keep going, showrunners, and learn from House of the Dragon season 2. My favorite characters from season 1 of The Night of the Seven Kingdoms were definitely Sir Duncan the Tall. I also liked Egg, but Baelor Targaryen was also one of my favorites. I liked all of them. That is it from this video, and if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for 100 subscribers. The video is on that now, and at 150 subs, I will finish the FNAF timeline with part 2, covering Help Wanted games, Security Breach, and Ruin. At 150k views, I will do a video on the life of Catelyn Stark, and at 1k likes, I'll do a video on the life of Robert Baratheon. But until then, bye!